This month, we've talked a lot about running a business with employees. We've talked about everything from listening to them, to how you reward them, to mentoring them. That's a lot of stuff we've covered. Today, I actually want to talk about the business owner's mindset and the broken mindset that many business owners have. That broken mindset is actually two different things we'll talk about. First is they view training, mentoring as an expense. And second, they're spending that training, this expense, in the wrong spot, which is with their top employees. That's not where you should be spending it. At least not where you should be spending the majority of it. So when I say it's viewed as an expense, I mean they view it as a cost to the business. This is something that is bad and taking away from the business as opposed to an investment. And that's absolutely wrong. Having your employees become 10% better, 5% better through some training is good. Now, the hard part is actually figuring out what training is good. And you have to run lots of tests and actually really engage with that training and ask them to bring it back. So if they go to a conference, say, hey, can you give us, a 5 to 10 minute talk about what was the best things at the conference? What were your takeaways and what can we implement in the business? Get them to do that when they come back from the conference. Then they're actually going to, put some time into it, take some notes probably, and you can find out what is good. And so it's not just training willy-nilly. It's not even just while Lynda or other training resources like that are really good for you. It's not just saying, hey, you have an Lynda account. Now training is taken care of. It's actually making sure that they're doing something. The second one is they're spending it in the wrong spot. They're spending it in the wrong spot because they're spending it with those top people, right? Your top 1%. And that's great. So you might be able to get that 1% to be, 0.5% better or 1% better because they're already, performing at 98% value to most of the other people who are, say, performing in good businesses, even they're performing at 70%. Well, that's not good. If you can take your tails is often called, if you can take your bottom tail, and you can make them improve 10%, there's often a lot more of those, right? You have like 1 or 2 top salespeople, and then you have everybody else, or most other people. There's a few people in the middle, but a lot of other people are clustered near the bottom. If you can make all of them 5% better or 10% better with some training, with some mentoring of these top people, then you've increased your bottom line greatly. Just because you spent it in the right spot, in the lower portion, as opposed to just in the top. Way too many businesses keep rewarding the top people, keep rewarding them with training, with all this other stuff, and they get a little bit better, but you'd really see the reward if you focused on that bottom people, and the people that need the help. So the top people are going to be doing this on their own a bit as well. Not saying that you should leave them off to do that on their own, but spending it with the bottom people is where you should be spending it, where you should be spending the majority of your training time, where you should be getting your top people to mentor. So there are 4 books that I want to recommend based off this month of content. You'll find those on my site, which I've linked to in the show notes if you're on YouTube, in the show notes just below the video, or if you're catching this in a podcast, you can find it in the show notes. Thanks for watching.